as the BRICS summit is underway, it's going to be a very pivotal meeting, not just for our president Narendra Modi, but also Russian, Putin, and even to the fact for Chinese President Xi Jinping as well. And it's going to be a very important meeting that's going to take place on the sidelines of BRICS. Yesterday also Vladimir Putin and Prime Minister Narendra Modi kick-started the BRICS summit, and today also it became a very important day where even a while back also Narendra Modi even spoke about what he thinks about the BRICS summit, how Russia and India relationship are also binding and getting very strong in terms of their strategies and how strong it is for them as well. And not just that, even to the fact it's going to be a very important meeting, not just for Russia, but again Chinese President Xi Jinping. There's going to be a very important meeting between both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and also President Xi Jinping. And also we've been covering that yes, there have been a lot of tensions going on, the LAC tensions that have been going on between both India and China. And also we are joined by a few people also who will give us a better perspective as to what importance does this meeting will happen, what importance does it bring back, and how important is this for India, and also what message will India be giving to China in terms of the meeting that's going to happen. My very first question to you would be, first you will please introduce yourself, and my very first question to you will be, how important do you think Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting with President Xi Jinping will be for on resolving the ongoing border crisis that is going on. So, and introduce your name, please.
I'm Rajiv Batra. I'm president of the cycle market, Chandni Chowk. Regarding the current issue of India-China standoff, I'm very happy that there's been some positive development, and hopefully the troops will go back to 2020 position, which is being right now said that is going to happen. We have to yet to see whether the troops actually pull back, but hopefully they do. If they do, you see, India-China have basically two dimensions. I see one is the geopolitical situation. We know that if your neighbors are not friendly and we have tensions on our border, so I don't think it is a good situation. In considering that, this is great that this has happened, and let's hope it does improve. Second is our trade issue with China. Because India and China have not been very friendly, trade has suffered. So if India-China relations move in a positive direction, because we both of us together constitute 1/3 of the global population, and therefore the trade, both of us are growing. One of the sharpest growths, positive growths, is with India and followed by China. China, of course, has a very big base. It is one of the top two economies, and hopefully India in a few years will be the third economy. So this is a major breakthrough, and it also vindicates our policy, foreign policy, that India has been following the right policy. That this breakthrough can actually happen is a salute to the current leadership. Many people thought it was not possible. I yet have to hear it from the opposition. What do they say on this? Because it is a major breakthrough. Maybe in time things will improve even further. And you see, this is the current position globally is, had this not happened, had China not relented, India would have been pushed more towards the Quad side, towards the American side. And in the current bipolar world, I would say bipolar because it is getting two-dimensional. So India is probably the only country which is strongly neutral, and this will help India stand on staying neutral. That is what benefits us, and that is what we should be doing.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll be again coming back to you. I also have another way.
Can we speak in Hindi?
Definitely, sir. But if I ask you the questions in English, will that happen? Or will that work? So, I'll have another question. What are your expectations from this BRICS summits and this very bilateral, discussion between India and China, especially regarding the LAC?
हेलो, एलआईसी के हिसाब से तो बहुत बढ़िया होगा, क्योंकि इतना हमारे ट्रूप्स और उनके ऊपर दोनों पर एक्सपेंसिव पड़ रहा है और टेंशन हमेशा रहती है। जब ये जाएंगे तो टेंशन तो एस्केलेट होगी होगी। इवन दो चाइना के जितने भी कंट्रीज़ के बॉर्डर हैं, अगर वो 38 बॉर्डर तो 73 बॉर्डर पर उनका मतलब टेंशन चली रहती है। बट वी कैन नॉट बिलीव सो मच इन चाइना वी कैनॉट बिलीव सो, बिकॉज कोई भी कंट्री पैसे वाला आज के टाइम पर कोई भी पैसे कंट्री वाली है, दे अपना जियो पॉलिटिक्स में सब सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट देखते हैं। आज वो हमारे साथ खड़े हैं मेरे को नहीं मालूम, बट वी शुड बी वेरी केयरफुल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस वन थिंग, क्योंकि अमेरिका है वो सब अपने अपने हिसाब से सब लोग अपनी कंट्री के लिए करते हैं। अमेरिका की पॉलिसी यही है, वो अपने सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट के लिए देखता है। वो ओबामा को आकर पाकिस्तान में मार सकता है, हम वहाँ पर कुछ करने भी नहीं है तब भी हमारा लगा देता है नेचर के लिए। ये एक मतलब जैसे पैसे वाले होते हैं ना, बड़े लोग हो जाते हैं दूसरे आदमी को दबाने की कोशिश करना, वेदर चाइना वेदर ये अपना जो भी है प्रेशर यूज करते हैं। बट वी शुड बी वेरी वेरी केयरफुल। हमें कोई ऐसा बात नहीं बोलनी चाहिए। मोदी इज़ वेरी, नो डाउट ही इज़ वेरी वेरी इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन, वी कैन नॉट टेल देम, ही कैन स्पीक वेरी वेल। The thing will be better. I hope so. It will be better in future.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I'll also be asking you. We've seen that, and also, do you believe that the agreement between both India and China on, patrolling along the LAC will be a very significant step towards, the escalation of tension, or are you skeptical of its very implementation?
अभी तो एक तो तजिंदर तनेजा, चेयरपर्सन साइकिल मार्केट चांदनी चौक। अभी तो एलओसी मीटिंग चल रही है ब्रिक्स की, रशिया में, कजान में। आज भी कुछ मीटिंग्स हैं, काफ़ी चीज़ें कल आके क्लियर होंगी, लेकिन काफ़ी कुछ ब्रिक्स मीटिंग से पहले ही इनका आपस में इंडिया और चाइना का हो गया कि ऐसे ऐसे पेट्रोलिंग कम करेंगे। चीज़ें पहले हो चुकी हैं, अब अनाउंस कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ फाइनल उसको टच दिया जा रहा है। अब चाइना भी समझ गया कि इंडिया के साथ मुझे चलना ही पड़ेगा। इंडिया न्यूट्रल है हर जगह, कोई हर कंट्री से इंडिया इस टाइम अच्छे रिलेशन रखना चाहता है। चाइना भी समझ रहा है कि मुझे इंडिया के साथ मुझे फॉलो करना पड़ेगा वर्ल्ड को, जैसे इंडिया चल रहा है, मैं हर एक कंट्री के साथ हमें चलना ही है। तो इसलिए थोड़ा सा वो भी ढीले पड़े हैं कि इंडिया से हम बात करें। सेकेंडली, चाइना पाकिस्तान में काम तो कर रहा है लेकिन वहाँ खुश नहीं है। उसको लगा कि पाकिस्तान की इंडिया मेरे से ज़्यादा बेटर पार्टनर है। जैसे मालदीव से एकदम से चाइना के पास गया, फिर वापस आ गया हमारे पास। तो चाइना को लगा कि इंडिया में कुछ अट्रैक्शन है, हम ज़्यादा इनसे ही करें। और जो भी एलएसी की बात हुई है, पेट्रोलिंग हटेगी वहाँ पे। बिजनेस अभी भी इंडिया चाइना का बहुत अच्छा है, आगे भी बिजनेस बहुत बढ़ेगा, बिजनेस इंप्रूव होगा, पहले भी अच्छा है और बढ़ेगा। और पेट्रोलिंग हटेगी, जो इन्होंने पहले ही अनाउंस हो गया, ये पहले सब हो चुका है। सब ब्रिक्स पे तो अनाउंसमेंट है फॉर्मली, बस चीज़ें सब पहले हो चुकी हैं। और आज भी फाइनल जो भी मोदी साहब की स्पीच मैंने अभी सुनी नहीं है, रात को सुनेंगे, कल भी देखेंगे सारा। काफ़ी कुछ एक दो दिन में सारा क्लियर हो जाएगा मैटर।
Thank you, sir. Before I come to you, sir, I'll again ask you another very important question. How do you view this very timing of the agreement of the LAC patrolling and just before the BRICS that is happening and ongoing? And do you think it's signifying a domestic process for India, or is it just a strategic necessities for both countries?
सर, इट इज स्ट्रेटेजिक इफेक्ट, ये दोनों कंट्री के लिए बेनिफिट के लिए सर। अगर ये बनेगा तो दोनों कंट्री का बेनिफिट है, क्योंकि इंडिया इज लीडिंग ग्रोथ रेट, इंडिया इज लीडिंग पार्टनर, इवन चाइना इज आल्सो वेरी गुड। इफ वी बोथ टुगेदर वी कैन फेस वेरी वेल in the future, we can have very very good market for both. It's very significant.
And sir, I'll ask you, like with PM Modi now meeting Xi Jinping in Russia after a very long gap. Now, do you think this is going to be a turning point in India-China relations, or do you think this is an underlining issue that will continue to happen and affect the bilateral ties in future as well?
See, I'll just tell you one thing. This is just breaking of the ice, because both countries are going to watch each other very carefully. The biggest casualty of this skirmish, border skirmish, has been the trust factor between the two armies and the two countries politically. So trust, it'll take some time and some observation. Once that trust factor starts settling in, only then will we see the actual improvements in other areas. And I am sure India and China, if they have good relations and get on together, get gel together, they can really, it can be a win-win situation for everyone. within the continent, within the global south, within the entire globe. It can be a big game changer. What has India done? Over the years, people have started taking India seriously. क्या है ना, खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि खुदा तुझसे पूछे बंदे तेरी रजा क्या है. You see, unless you are strong yourselves, India has increased its strength economically as well as militarily.
And you're saying India has increased its global presence in a
And
very strong manner.
yes, so it vindicates the current, political leadership. Its stand is vindicated. This is the right stand. You talk to people with your head held high, with clear, directions and foreign policies. They are not very confusing at all. They are very clear. Modi is very clear in his mind what he wants to do. And Jai Shankar is so clear.
Yeah.
And they actually convey what they want to say. So it carries a clear message to the other people what we want. What he's basically done is he's said that you cannot ignore us. We are not the same India you used to look, through a different Western eye in the 70s or 80s. We are different. We can take you on. The current, stand between India and Canada, I think is he's shown his spine. It needs guts to do that. And they still are in that brown sahib culture. I'm so sorry to say regarding Canada, they advocate that India has done this.Maybe India has done it. So what? If you are helping our enemies, we have a right. Why do you only have a right to take out your enemies in different?
No, but even Trudeau has, said it that it's based on speculation. They do not have a proof. But that's a different topic. Yeah.
But actually, we all believe, yes, India did it. That is our personal. And they also know it. They may not have proof. But the thing is, if America can go and get Obama in Afghanistan, why should you have double standards for us? American can go to Vietnam. American can bombard and finish Iraq on a suspicion.
Trudeau has always been a Khalistani sympathizer.
Yeah, always.
Even his father also.
Yeah,
For his votes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you see, they have 18 seats. The Jasprit Singh's party, the other guy, the Canadian.
Yes, he won.
So why? Because he can get them en masse together and have those seats. He needs those seats. He's
under
a minority
pressure.
government.
He's under pressure.
So political convenience dictates his ideology, not Canada's. I am sure a country with a democracy. India is also a democracy. They should have got on together on this. Political issues should not have dictated their values.
And sir, now coming back to BRICS again, I'll ask you this question. Now, what impact do you think, the Russia-India relationship will have on PM Modi's handling of India's relationship with, China in context of BRICS? Now, because even Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Xi Jinping, Russian president have clearly said that, we don't even need a translation because our ties are very strong. And they have even, said it clearly that we are the oldest members of BRICS. So what do you think it's going to be a turning point in, Russia also playing some role here?
Yeah. Russia, you see, another thing what has happened today, you see, even the UN Secretary General is coming to BRICS. What does it actually mean? That the West trying to isolate Russia for last 3 years, that chapter is over. America has lost again. It has actually lost like a Vietnam War, worse than that. They always end up losing money and on the losing side. So it has happened, that it has weakened Russia a bit. But Russia actually has been growing. Their economy has been growing. And US has become weaker. India and China have become stronger. So Russia wants a strong Russia, strong China, strong India. These people, if they are not on America's side, will be a big plus. India and Russia, we don't forget, Indians don't forget that Russians really helped us in the Indo-Pak war. They were there for us. So I don't think many prime ministers or many governments are going to forget who stood for us, who sent the 7th Fleet to India. So we know who our friends are. And there's that trust level I told you, that is so important. Trust between India and Russia is so deep, as you said right now that Putin mentioned.
Yeah.
That trust factor is one of the biggest things India and Russia have. That's their biggest asset. That is why I tell you, India and China will also have to work a long time to build that trust. Once they build it, other things will just fall in place.
Thank you so much, sir. I have just one last question for each one of you. Again, yes, sir. Sir, I have this one very important question for you. How do you perceive India's position with BRICS, especially, with the complexities in the relationship between both Russia and China?
हाँ नहीं ठीक है, जो ब्रिक्स में अभी तक चल रहा है, सबके रिलेशन, जितनी कंट्रीज हैं सबके अच्छे रिलेशन है आपस में. अभी तक जो पॉइंट डिस्कस नहीं हुआ है, जो वॉर चल रही हैं रशिया और यूक्रेन की और इसराइल और मिडिल ईस्ट की, चाइना देख रहा है कि वो वॉर 2 साल से चल रही है, इसको भी 1 साल हो गया है, तो वॉर्स पे कुछ नहीं रखा हुआ, आपस में मिलकर ही चलना पड़ेगा. अपना रीजन बचा के रखना है, अपनी रीजन को तरक्की करानी है, इसके लिए चाइना हमारे साथ जुड़ा है कि आइए चलें बढ़ते हैं आगे, वॉर्स में कुछ नहीं है.
Thank you.
And I believe
Yes,
there
sir.
has been a Russian pressure. This is because of Russia that India and China have got together. There's been pressure on China that look, forget it, India, Modi is not going to relent. If he says 2020 position, he means it. Better go down that, otherwise this is going to be a lost situation for you. The only breakthrough will be possible if you go back to the 2020 position.
Future, I think there will be 2 parts. One is NATO, one is the BRIC. NATO countries and BRIC countries. Even though now NATO also will feel, the BRIC is also there. BRIC is also there. They don't unnecessary pressurize नहीं कर सकते किसी country को. Now NATOs are going to understand, like Five Eyes, are like pressing to India. Every time America is pressing to India, always, even the Pakistan time when we war, always they pressurized to India. In 71 war, every war, they always voted to Pakistan. Even they know Pakistan is a good friend, but they want to, वो चाहते हैं कि इंडिया किसी तरह कमजोर रहे, वो सामने नहीं खड़े हो यूएसए के सामने, किसी भी कंट्री को अपने सामने नहीं खड़ा होना था. That's why this country is 2 types. One is NATO and one is.
And sir, my very last question to you would be, given that previous agreements with China have not only fully resolved with border issues, but what do you think are the, chances of, lasting peace along the, LOC, and if there is any possibility of a new understanding, what do you think?
We always hope for the best. Always. We should wait, and I think hope for the best.
Nodding.
I am telling you, the problem, the crux of the problem between India and China is the McMahon line, which has been drawn by the British, which China does not recognize. So the borders are not clearly defined. Borders between India and China are not clearly defined unless the politics, our kids, if they mature and take our places and do something with maturity, with large hearts on both sides, and define the border or keep it absolutely loose, I think we have to be cautious of each other.
I've seen you have very strong points on a lot of topics. What do you have to? I just want to know your comments or reaction on when China says that Arunachal Pradesh is our territory, and India says no, it is ours. What do you have to say on this where China is fully adamant to the fact, no, this is our territory as well, this is our zone, this is our area? What do you have to say?
See, if you go back to history, imperialism has been throughout the world. At one time, Indian princes, Indian kingdoms were even in Java, Sumatra, Indonesia, Singapore, Vietnam. So can we start claiming them? Exactly. No, that is not the right way. Because when you talk about geopolitical borders, you generally consider the recent history, the current history,
Present
maybe
scenario.
10, 20 years, 30 years back. You cannot, Nepal and India cannot claim, go back, 300 years into history, this was us at that time, and this is the issue. No. I think the current generation has to resolve this in their own minds. Okay, let it be. Let it be. And move on. So they have to have large hearts on both sides. It has to be politically convenient on both sides to accept. Okay, let us say, for example, I hope that the current LOC actually becomes a border, actual border. है ना? Once that happens, and both of us accept, okay, we are claiming 4 kilometers into your the area in this side, and they claim we are claiming 4 kilometers into this area. So okay, 2 kilometers settled.
We
So
make it compromise.
it has to be a compromise and a give and take. So that will only happen once the trust factors are fully developed. Till then, I don't think we can discuss this.
And sir, before wrapping up, I just have one last question for you. How do you perceive now India's position within BRICS, especially considering its very complex relationship? And also again, I've asked this question to him also. I'll also be asking you another follow-up. You answer this in another question. That given that previous agreements between China have not only fully resolved with border issues that you've been also speaking, but what do you think are the chances of lasting peace across the LOC? And is there a new understanding? What do you think, or you think there is no new understanding of that sort?
Between India and China, right now I think it is a Russian pressure on China. India is very happy because it has vindicated its stand. Let it be. Only time will tell. I think it will be at least 4 to 6 months with a tranquil border before we can even start speculating on any further gains.
And also, do you think India's decision to engage diplomatically with
Perfect.
China, you think it's a
Perfect decision.
Perfect decision.
See, this is what this can be taken as a example of the highest levels of diplomacy succeeding.
But can there be a potential risk in the strategy? What do you think?
What risk can be there? India has put its cards on the table. Look, we are ready to talk with you. We are ready to discuss with you. Our armies were not using bullets or something. We were just no gunfire. We have been there after 62. My friends in the army tell me they have been exchanging cigarettes and even gifts and good relations. That broke off. That trust factor broke off after Galwan. So that will have to be resolved over time. I'm sorry, I missed your question. What was it? Repeat.
I just wanted to know this step that India is now choosing to go diplomatically with China. Is it a good step? Like you said, yes, it's a good step. But will it be? Will it have some risk in the strategic relationship or something, or no? What do you think?
See, the risks are always there. But if you consider the cost-benefit ratios, definitely it's a very low-risk option. It's a very low-risk option.
You feel it's the best way forward?
It is the best way forward. See, you cannot engage in active wars. War means loser-loser. There is no winner in a war today. You only have losers in wars. So, India's strategy, it suits India to be not in a war game. India and China cannot go to war. It will be very bad for the world and for our economies.
And sir, do you agree to him?
Yeah, I agree with them. Definitely, I agree with them. When there is a war, there is a big problem for both countries. Everything, there is a loss and loss, only loss and loss. If we can have a good relation, we can get in progress. I think this is a very, very good decision to like this.
Thank you, sir. Sir, आपसे भी I'll ask you, do you agree with these two gentlemen who put out very strong words?
बिल्कुल ठीक कहा इन्होंने. ये तो सामने ही है. 2 साल से अभी तक रशिया और यूक्रेन का ख़त्म नहीं हुआ. 1 साल से इजराइल और मिडिल ईस्ट का हो गया. और जो जगह दोनों लूज कर रहे हैं, दोनों जगह नुकसान हो रहा है, विनर कोई भी नहीं है अभी तक। तो बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं, देयर इज नो विनर, लूजर ओनली।
Thank you so much, sir. So, we've had a very interesting and a very important conversation with, all the experts who gave us a very important perspective and who gave us and all the viewers who are watching us on TV also a very broader perspective of what can be the solution, what are the important steps, what can be the way forward. And also, we've spoken to few people here also who have given very strong opinions about a lot of topics, which will be very beneficial for the viewers also, for the younger audience also who are watching us, or the youths also who are watching us and who are also very, they are waiting for the BRICS summit. They are waiting for the meeting to happen to have a conclusion as to what will be the next step, what will be the nearer future. So it was a very pivotal conversation, very important conversation that needed a bright light that we showed. This is me, Brian Anthony Thomas, signing off with camera person Avdesh for NewsX Delhi.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.